Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, and thank you if you joined us in the Blueprints house on Monday. So many people in chat, 3,400 at one point, and chat was brilliant and really helped us when we finally asked for a tiny bit of help. They were fantastic. It was a really interesting game. Anyway, we will be back there, I imagine, on Monday, so do join us then. Also, of course, on Friday there'll be a crossword masterclass. Every day we're pumping out the Sudoku videos, and Minute Cryptic, that got a lot of engagement yesterday as well. And Wordle in a Minute, I mean, my goodness, loads of stuff going on the main channel. But also, of course, we've got our apps, and you can try Line Sudoku or Arrow Sudoku or Classic Sudoku 2 or the Worms there. Do check out the links under the video, or go to Patreon, where we're coming up soon to the first of a new month, and that will mean the new Sudoku Hunt will come out. And of course, also on Patreon, there's a new Gridogram video tomorrow, I think, a new Connections video today, crossword videos in the last couple of months, loads going on. Check it out, but have a look at this puzzle by one of my favourite authors, James Kopp, back again on the channel with a puzzle called Quivers. Often Arrow Sudoku titles refer to quivers, and indeed, I've done it myself in the next batch for the Wall Street Journal. Anyway, let's have a look at the rules here. Normal Sudoku rules apply, 1 to 9 in every row, column, and 3 by 3 box. Adjacent digits on an orange Dutch whisper line have a difference of at least 4, and digits on an arrow sum to the digit in the circle of that arrow. So very straightforward. As James said in his email, even a couple of given digits, 2 9s there. And that's it. The rules, very easy to understand. Give it a try on that first link under the video. James is very fair standard is how I'd kind of describe his normal vibe. Let's see how we go. Let's get cracking. Okay, so, where do we start here? We've got an orange line all along the bottom of the grid. Now, I know there is one way to populate an orange 9-cell line that links back to itself with different digits, but this isn't quite that situation. No, I don't know quite where to start. We're going to have to ponder this one. There is also the point that 9 must go on an orange line in this box and in this box based on Sudoku. Oh, well, sorry, there's the very obvious point. Where does 9 go in row 8? It can't go on the arrow, so it must go in the circle. So we get yet another 9 in one of the... That's now 3 of the 5 circles in the puzzle populated with 9s. Ah, okay. So when we have a green line, we know that 5 can't go on it. We know that every digit is higher or lower than 5, and we know they must alternate. And we can therefore alternate a green line between high and low. Now, an orange line essentially works the same except for one thing, that 5 can give you a polarity swap, where I'm using polarity to mean highness or lowness, and 5 changes it. So these two, let's colour them both orange for high. If we didn't have any 5s on the line, we would alternate as we go towards the centre of the line. And indeed, that's what happens. If we did have a 5 in this portion of this line, that 5 would cause a polarity swap. Let me just explain that. Let's call 5 yellow and put it there. Well, I mean, it wouldn't work because the 5 would have to be surrounded by 1 and 9. Okay, let's put it here. This causes a polarity swap because you get a 1 there, a low digit. Then you get a high digit here, then a low digit here, then a high digit here, then a low digit here. And now you get 2 high digits bumping into each other that aren't 5. And that won't work. So the 5 can't be in this segment, and in fact, let's go back to that correct allocation of highs and lows, and now we have to put the 5 here. And the 5 must be surrounded, 5 can only touch 1 or 9 on a Dutch whisper line. So there it is. And obviously these ones are the high digits, 6, 7, 8. These ones are the low digits, 1, 2, 3, 4. This one can't be a 1 in this box. Now, this box has had its 5, so we can colour again on an alternating basis. 5 is the only one that monkeys with that nonsense. So this pair adds up to 9, doesn't involve a 1 or a 5. It's either 2, 7 or 3, 6. This digit is the other low digit, 2, 3 or 4, and these are the other high digits. They include an 8. One of these now must be a 4 in this box, and now therefore that digit must be 8. That's good, isn't it? So that's 6 or 7. This now must be low. 2 or 3, I would say, if it's not allowed to be 1. This must be high. It can't be 5 based on this. But there we have a variety of possibilities. And that's a decent start. Right. Now we don't know about 5 in this box. That could be monkeying around to some effect. We only know that this arrow is not a 1-8 pair so far. This was the really helpful long line. So, we know, at least we know there are no 5s in this column because we've found 1 5 in the grid. Now that means these must alternate. Now, does this have to be high? It's an interesting question. I don't think it does have to be high, because it could be 4 or 3. However, if you used up 1 and either 2 or 3 in these cells, wouldn't you run out of low digits in this box somehow? What I'm working on is, does this digit have to be high? And I think it probably does, but let's just try and work out what would happen if it wasn't. If it was low, these would both be low, and they'd include 1. That would be 4 or 3. And these would be very low. And then this low would alternate around here. If that was 4 or 3, this would be high. These two would be meant to be low. And that would be all 4 low digits used up. But you definitely need a low digit in that run of 3. You can't make 3 cells to be high or even 5. So that wouldn't work. That is my allegation, that actually low here won't work, because you run out of low digits in box 1. So I now wonder whether this could be a 5 itself. It would be surrounded by a 9 here and a 1 there. And these digits would both be low again. And I think you'd have exactly the same problem. If that was a 5 and this was a 9, these would both be low. No more 5s in this column. These would both be low, and you can't make up a set of 3 without a low. So that's not 5. So it's definitely high. Now this is low. It can't be 5 here. And now we can alternate up this column where 5 has already gone. I mean, this digit is 6, 7, or 8. It can't be 9 according to this. This is low because that's not a 5. Sorry, because that's not a 9. This can't even be 5. This is definitely low. But then we get difficult. Somewhere up here, there is a 5. And that could be doing a polarity swap here, or it could be at the end of this. This is not low. This is high or 5. I don't think it's so easy to know what's going on. I'm going to put 2, 3, 4 in these cells. And actually that is a triple in the column. This must be high for what it's worth. These are from 6, 7, 8, 9. One of these two is a 4. We can sort of do this trick again. One of these two is a 4. It doesn't work as well because all that tells us is that this digit that must touch that 4 is either 8 or 9. We don't know which one. Five is really messing with what we know about these columns. 5 could be on that arrow, it could be in that cell, it could be on this upright. These do look a bit like American football goalposts. Okay, have I got any better information elsewhere? I don't know this polarity. These could be 2 of each. Yeah, 5 can't get involved. Oh, that could be 5. These 3 can't be because 5... Oh no, this one could be. Sorry, I was going to say you can't put 5 here because it has to be surrounded by 1 and 9, and we've used up all the 9s in the area. But you could put 5 here with a 1 there. You could put 5 here with a 1 there. That is another place in this row where 5 could sit. Now in that case, this would be a 5-4 pair. These would both be low from 1, 2, 3. Ah, okay, 5 cannot be on this arrow, because look what would happen if, I'll just sketch it in, if that was a 5-4 pair, that would include a low digit, and now we'd only have 1 low and 2 highs for this area, and that would not alternate properly. You'd go low, high as you alternate away from the 9, but now this would be a problem because it's meant to be high for the box count, but low for the Dutch whisper effect. So 5 is not on that arrow, and that's very interesting. In this box, there is only one place 5 can now be, and it's here. And that's got a 1 on its left. And these two aren't 1s. They're at least 2 and 3. This digit can't be 6 anymore. Now 6 in this row is in one of these 2 cells, and the digit that it definitely touches between them can't be 3 or 4. Now, that 1 is going to make this high and this low. Now we've had 3 highs and 3 lows in this box, which is good. It leaves us 1 high and 1 low for the 8 sum, which is now not 1-8 or 5-4. It's either 2-7 or 3-6, just as this was, but this must be the other pair, because those 2 cells are both looking at that. I'm not going to colour that, which I might do in some circumstances. Now, this digit can't be a 1, it's 2, 3, or 4. This is 6, 7, or 8. There is a 5 somewhere in these cells, which doesn't feel a very helpful 5. There's also a 4, actually. In this row, we haven't pencil marked 4 anywhere. So 4's in one of those cells and not in that one. Ah, actually, that is going to tell us where 4 is in this row. If there's a 4 in one of those cells, it can't be here. And that must be 4. And this above the 4 now must be 9 if it can't be 8. Now this can't be 9. 5, 1, 9, 4. We've got one of the highs there and one here. Oh, I could always colour the 9 since it's been given to me. 4 is in that set, so is 5. Now I'm running out of steam yet again. Having the 1 there not be on the arrow, I don't think it's going to be very helpful. Okay, getting these 5s does rule out 5 from future Dutch whisper positions, doesn't it? Which means we must get alternation. So these 4 cells must be high, low in some order. And then we will have had 3 dominoes of high-low in the box, in the column, and a 5, and that must be one of each. Not that helpful, I suppose. Now, I did see something else down here that I thought, oh, I could remove 4 from that cell. Yeah, that is helpful, because now the 4 in this row has to be in one of these two. Actually, I could have seen that from the box. But that means this digit is an 8. And this one isn't. And these two aren't 8s. These are now a 6-7 pair. And they can never touch 4. This digit could never touch a 4. So that is 4 in the row. This is now a 2-3 pair, and that's a 1. That's probably been available for a little while. And now all I know about this arrow is it's not 1-8. Alternation around here. Is that worth thinking about now? I don't know. Ah, I do know something. Right, 6 and 7 have both been used here. Where are 6 and 7 in this row? Only one of them is there. The other one is here, so that's high. This is low, therefore. And now I can colour this cell with high. In fact, I know its number. It's the last high digit I've got, because that's a 6-7 pair, that's an 8. And these now include 4 and 5 and the remaining digit from 2, 3. Okay, now. I think maybe I don't know if I'm meant to move on to this because I know where the 5 is, or this. Maybe I move on to this and think about where the 5 is. 5 can't go anywhere where on the line where it can't be surrounded by 1 and 9. So it can't go there, at least. And indeed, 5 can't go here because that digit can't be 1 or 9, or here because that digit can't be 1 or 9. So the 5 in this box is not in these cells. If 5 was here or here, it would have to have 1 beneath it and 9 above it. If 5 was here or here, it would still need 1 and 9 above and below it, but that would go outside the box this time. I mean, if none of these can be 5s, they do alternate. This might not help. I'm going to colour them in alternating colours, but I don't know how to relate these colours yet to orange and blue. But they must work here. That will be different. Well, it could be 5. That can't be pink again, because 2 pinks, both 2 lows can't add up to 9 and 2 highs can't add up to 9. Now, if we just kept alternating, we would have 2 more greens here. You see, that is very interesting. If we didn't have a 5 in one of these cells, see what would happen. They would both be high, and these would both be green or 5. So 5 would have to be in one of these cells, because you can't have 5 greens that aren't 5. So that's one thing that could happen. The alternative is that 5 is in one of these cells. All that's proved to me is that 5's not here, which is not quite enough. Okay, let's fill in this as 1, 2, or 3. Now, neither of these can be 5 because we've had 9 in this column. And 5 has to be surrounded by 1 and 9. So these must alternate properly, as it were, with high and low. This, however, could be a 5 with a 1 here. So now I have to be a bit more careful. This digit, however, completes a 1, 2, 3 triple, doesn't it? And everything else in the column is 5, 6, or 7, with this one unable to be 5. Oh, this is 6 or 7. No, that doesn't. If it was 6, it would have to be surrounded by 1 and 2. Oh, this digit can't be 3, because they can't both be 7. So that one is 1 or 2. This one could be 3 with a 7 there and 7 or 8 here. Oh, it's a bit fiddly, but it's a very clever puzzle. Right. Right. I was wondering whether I can say either that these are both low or that they include a high or a 5. Because we've sort of had, if that was high and not 5, then we'd have had all 4 high digits here. These would both have to be low or 5. Oh no, that's quite easy with 6, 7 or 8 to sum to. What if this was 7, 2? I don't know. I should be looking somewhere better, somewhere cleverer, somewhere where something's happening that I could colour. Oh, is this row worth considering suddenly? We've had 2 proper lows there. If these were both low, yeah, do we know that this doesn't alternate? I think this row might be worth thinking about, but I don't quite know what I'm thinking about it. These want to be the same colour, don't they? But, of course, 5 could have monkeyed with stuff so that they're not. 5 is a cheeky little beastie. And the trouble is, I don't know what green and pink are here, so I don't know what I'm aiming for in the true pole. Also, this could be 5. Okay, this digit can't be 5. I'm going to do some more sort of off-cycle colouring up here, because those must alternate because we've had the 5 in this column. Then this digit well, it can't be red again, but it could be 5. This could only be 5 if that was a 1 and this was a 9. It's tricky. It's tricky. Also, maybe I've got enough 9s to actually think about 9s in the puzzle. 9 is in one of those cells, and I know it can't be on this arrow, because that wouldn't make sense of the circle. So 9 is definitely in one of these 3 cells. I'm really intrigued by where 5 is in this box. Is it on this line? I don't know. I think it might well be here, but I can't even rule out this from being 5. And 5 might even appear in this cell and not perform a polarity swap, because it could touch 9 in both of those, which is a role we haven't really considered for 5 before. We've only considered 5 in the role of achieving parity swaps. Polarity swaps. Sorry if I've called them parity swaps a few times. Hopefully you know what I meant, because you can read my mind. Wow, I'm really now missing the point. Okay, maybe I should think about this not being able to be a 3-6 pair. If that's a 6, this is 2, 7, and that's a 2. And then by Sudoku, that will have to be 2. And that will be 3, and this will be 1. I mean, it's quite interesting. It forces a lot. And this is just based on this being 6. Oh, and this can't be a 6-3 pair. Okay, this might be worth thinking about. I don't quite know what to think about it yet. Right. If this was a 6, that would be 2, 7. This would be 3, and this would have to be 7. And that would be 2. If this was a 6, that would be 2, 7, and that would make this 6. I see. Wow, these two are this is brilliant actually. These two are the same digit, because if you think about where does this go in this box, that's the only cell. But if they were both 6s, oh no, hang on. I was thinking they couldn't attach to 3s here, but this is an arrow, not a Dutch whisper line. Oh, it's bother. That is not a solution. It looked really good. It is true that they are both the same digit, but it allows these to be... I thought it was going to prove they were both 7s with 2s. Yeah. That's really strange somehow. I think what it proves is these two don't add up to 9, because these have to be different, 2 and 3. But these are the same 6 and 7. So if that pair does add up to 9, this pair can't. So this is either a 2-6 pair or a 3-7 pair. That is weird. Now, if this is a 3-7 pair, that's 2-6. No, that's 3-6. And this is 2. If this is 2-6, this has to be 3, and then that becomes 7 on the whisper. Oh, bother, that didn't really do anything. Okay, I was a bit of a numpty there, but it looked really exciting, and I failed to use it. Oh, what can I do? There must be another way to break through. These couldn't have 5 in, so they were alternating polarity-wise. Maybe I'm going to go back to working out which of these can be 5. Something here is. Or where does 5 go around this U? Wow, I just don't know. One of these is a 9. That's just fact. That's Sudoku. I can cling to Sudoku facts like a drowning man to a raft. But it doesn't tell me anything about 5 in the box, I don't think. Or on the U generally. Wow, okay, I am getting a bit confused. Maybe, okay, these two are orange. If these alternated properly without a 5, there would be 2 more oranges there. They would include 9 and 6 or 7. And then everything else in the column would have to be blue or 5. I don't think that's telling me anything. Okay, I'm coming back to U, row 4. If these were both blue, neither of these could be blue. But they could be 5s. Oh, it's all very well trying to eliminate 5s, but then you keep on finding them again. The trouble is, you do actually have to put 5 somewhere in the puzzle, and then they are going to mess with things. I don't know how else to express that. It is very much what I mean. Four and 5 have to go in these cells, so one of them is likely to be there, stopping this being a 4-5 arrow. But if that was a 4-5 arrow, 4 and 5 would be sitting here. This digit would be a 2 or a 3. Goodness, if there's something that you're shouting at the screen going, why can't you just get on with it and do this? Well, I'm sorry. Okay, let's go back to this pair, just in case that does anything. Are these both definitely blue? No. Could there be a high digit here? A 6 or a 7 with a 1 or a 2? Oh, it's difficult, because that would make that a 5 and this would be a 1. Right, the only way there's a high digit here then is if this is a 6-2 pair. And that can't be the case, because that would leave 3 and 7 down here. So these do not involve a high digit. And they must both be, well, no, I was going to say they must both be low, but they could involve 5. And I can't rule that out. If they did involve 5, this would be a 6-7 pair. This would be an 8-9 pair. This would be a 6-7 pair, and that digit, oh no, it doesn't touch them both. Right, but at least I've got something to cling on to here. Right, if there was a 5 here, that is a 6-7 pair. That digit's another 5. The 6-7 pair, I don't know what they touch. Maybe just think about if this was a 6. These would have to be 1 and 2 either side of it. This would be a 3, and now we'd have 2, 7 here. And 6 here touching a 2. Which would decide which way round the 1 and 2 went around the 6. That would have to be the 1, and this would be the 2. Okay, this is getting interesting. So if this is 6, things are coming under pressure a bit. That's a 3, that's 2, 7, that's 6, this is 2, now that's 2. That's 1 or 3, that's 3 or 4. You've got 9, 7, 2 up here in this theory. Nine, 7, 2 there is actually putting interesting pressure on this. Right, assuming this was 9, 7, 2, this digit can either be 6 or 8. If it's 8, this has to be a 3-5 pair. If it's 6, it has to be a 1-5 pair, because 2 has been used up down here, and 7. So if that's 9, 7, 2, there is a 5 on that arrow, definitely. That's quite surprising. If this is a 9, 6, 3 pair, this digit is 7 or 8 then. I've already worked out these can't both be low. I'm sure... No, I haven't. I worked out they can't be a high digit here. That's what I did. I might have to recoup that logic, because I think this is gonna get something done finally. Finally. Oh, I've got to keep these two strands together in my head now. What am I trying to do at the moment? I'm trying to say that there has to be a 5 on this arrow. I think it's going to be right. I think it's going to be right. Oh, goodness gracious, this is going to blow my head off. Gosh, and I keep looking ahead. Right. For there not to be a 5 on this arrow, it would either have to have a high digit or 2 lows. This would be high. These would be all the high digits. And that would be a 6-7 pair. Did I work out that this couldn't work before? I thought I did. Yeah, that would be a 6-7 pair, and that digit would be 1 or 2. But for these to have a high, they would either be 6. No, I worked out there's not a high digit here. That's what I did, because that would be a 5 with a 1 here. These would have to be 6-2, and that would break this arrow. Right, there is no high digit here. And I'm going to depict that in this way. Now, the two possibilities down here, one of them is 9-7-2. That leaves this to be a 6 with a 5-1 arrow or an 8 with a 5-3 arrow. There would always be a 5 in those cells. If this was 9-6-3, then this now is 7 or 8. And the only way of achieving that with 2 low digits would be 3 and 4. But this would be 9-6-3, so you couldn't have a 3 there. So there must always be a middly digit 5 there. Wow, that is hard logic. But it's right. And this digit is now high and is 6 or 7. And that's a pair. This digit is now 5 in the column. And that's not 6 or 7. This is now an 8-9 pair, and that's not 8. Now, the worry is that this doesn't actually advance us very much. That's blue. There's definitely a 5 here. That's quite a weird finding. This is either 5-1, 5-2, or 5-3. Now, this purpley digit, which I've marked here, is now definitely there, because it's got to be in one of these 6. Oh, this is the other colour of 6 or 7. What do I know about that? Nothing much. We know 5 is here. Wow. That's a yellow 5, so this is not yellow. This is now a 3rd green. Right, and also 5 can't appear here or here. Now, these must be alternating then. They must be pink. But these can't both be green, or we'd have 5 greens in the box. So one of those is a 5, and the other one is green. And this digit is pink to get a 4th pink in the box. And now we've had 1 pink, 1 green, and 1 yellow. Now those are equivalent to a yellow, a blue, and an orange. And these are blue, orange, blue. So these must now alternate. They don't have a 5 in. There's in fact a 5 in one of those 2 cells in the box. These must alternate, and we know whether it's not blue, orange, blue, because we'd have too many blues in the row. It's orange, blue, orange. So red has become orange, light blue has become ordinary blue, and these alternate. Wow. Okay, there we go. Now, that has coloured something here. That's good. These digits are from 6, 7, 8. These are from 1, 2, 3. This one is 2, 3, or 4. Now the trouble is, in this box, I don't know which colour is which polarity. That's annoying. Ah, we've got a 5 there. That's really interesting. These are going to be 1 pink and 1 green, one of each. Oh, I wish that helped. I wish it helped. I don't think it does help. Oh, and I should be careful. One of these could be a 5 in its own right. We certainly haven't ruled that out. Now, one of these is a 5. Okay, think about that. That means it's surrounded by a 1-9 pair, either in those cells or in these cells. Well, what do you know? How do you know? How do I know what that means? I just don't. It's a very good puzzle. I love this. This is so clever, but I wish I could be better at it. For this digit to be a 6, things don't work. That's good. That's a start. If this digit was a 6, that's a 2-1 pair surrounding it. That's a 3, but that 6 is forcing this to be a 6, and now 3 and 6 are connected, and that's not allowed. So that is 7 or 8. There's no 1 in these cells, which definitely include a 5. Now, if this was a 7, you've got 2, 5 here, 3, 6 here. Okay, that could work. 7 here would be surrounded by digits from 1, 2, 3, which would now form a triple, and that would be a 4, 8 pair. That digit would end up being 1. Yeah, I can't rule that out. So this can be a 7. That's irritating. Can that be a 6? This would be a 2. Oh, I haven't really thought about alternating up here. This is quite interesting. If these were straight alternators with no 5 in this group, these would both be blue, and that would complete all the blues. Wow, and here, blue and 5 or orange would have to equal that. Well, I know this isn't blue. That would bring too many blues into the box. I mean, that's painfully obvious. I don't think it could have been blue with 1 having gone anyway. And we've had 3 blues in this row already. Oh, no, we haven't. That might be yellow. Oh, wow. I'm getting very, very, very confused now. Now, okay, those are 5s. One of these is the extreme version of 1 or 9 of pink, whatever pink is. If it was 1, does that have any power? Not really. It's quite interesting. We're still looking to put 1 in this column, and it won't be on a useful arrow cell. It'll either be in one of these or up there. Okay, if this was 4, that would have to be 8, and this would be a 3, 5 pair. That would see 4 and 3. And be a 2. That would be 1. I don't know. I can't rule that out. Okay, let's go back over this side. Must be something to learn here. Oh, goodness. I'm sorry if you're finding this a slow solve. That's because it's quite a difficult puzzle. It's very clever though. Oh, I still don't know what green and pink are in this box. Somehow my brain has convinced itself that pink is going to be high, but I don't think there's any evidence for that at all. I really don't, actually. Oh, we had two highs here. So if green was high, they would be the third and the fourth, and they would involve 9 and a low digit 6 or 7. So 5 would be over there, touching a 1 here and a 9 here. Oh, 5, 1, 9, and either 6 or 7 would have gone in the box. I don't know. It's not enough. It's not enough to decide anything. 5 being in one of those 2 cells is not very strong and powerful either. Okay, let's come back to this digit. If that is an 8, this is a 3-5 pair, then that's a 2-7 pair. This digit is 6, and then that has to be 2. Then this sees 2 and 3 and is 4. If this is 7, that's not a 4, and the only place for 4 in the first column is there. So whether this is 8 or 7, this seems to have to be a 4. I mean, I don't think this is a huge discovery, but it's something. Let's go through that again. If that's an 8, this is a 3-5 pair. That's 2-7. This is 6, this is 2, and that cell sees a 2 and a 3. Yeah, and if this is 7, that can't be 4, and this is. Right, so that's 4. Now, okay, that gives me a 2-3 pair in this column, and that digit's 1. I didn't expect that to be revealed. This is 2. Suddenly, this might be the key. We take 2 out of that cell. This is now a 3-5 pair. That digit is 8. The 3-5 pair forces this to be 2 and 7 down here, and that did kickstart our campaign. 6 there must touch 2 on the whisper. And we've got 7 and 3 over here. They're not known, but this is a 3, so now they're known. 3 must touch 7, 6 can touch 2. This is a 3-6 pair, that adds up. These incredible. That one, finding that digit was a 4. Absolutely boosted it all. That's a 6-4 pair. This is a 1. Oh, what did I accidentally click there? So this isn't a 1. I don't think that does anything yet. Now, how are we going to reach across the grid? 3 sees that cell. 8 sees this one. And this can't be 4 anymore because of the Dutch whisper connection. So that's definitely 2. Okay, well, this can't be 7 or 8, so it's 6 or 9. Now, these digits include 5 and 4. This digit cannot be 4 because it would have to be surrounded by 8 and 9, and that would clash with that. So 4's in one of these 2 cells. If it was here, it would be surrounded by 8 and 9. 5 would be surrounded by 9 and 1. And what's the other digit here? 6, 7, or 9? Okay, 2 plus at least 3 gives at least 5. That's not interesting. Can this be 3 surrounded by 7 and 8? Yes. Goodness me. I mean, that was a surprising unblock there. But we need to keep it rocking, and I still haven't found out what these colours mean here. Oh, I can get rid of that 7 violeting. Now, come on, Mark. where do we go next? We've got a 2 in one of these cells by Sudoku. If that's a 2, this is a 7. Oh, then we've got a problem. If this is a 2, 7 is purple, pink, and pink is high. And 4 can't go there. 4 would have to go here. If that's a 2, 4 goes here. Maybe we don't have a problem. Something looked wrong with that to me a moment ago. 4 would be touching 8 and 9 in the column. No, I don't know. Okay, that didn't quite break down in the way that I thought it might. Three in this box is in one of these cells. If it was here, this would be a 3-6 pair. Wow, I don't know. And maybe it's obvious here. No, I don't think it is. One of these is a 5. Oh, this is something I learned earlier, that one of these is high and one of them is low. Although actually one can be a 5 and that hasn't been ruled out. Oh, botheration. How would it get stuck again now? Oh, well this is not a 4-5 pair anymore because 4 and 5 are locked there in the box. So this could be 2-7 in one direction, but it could also be 1-8 or 3-6 in either direction. Oh, if this was high, it can't be 9, 8 or 7. That would have to be, if green is high, this has to be a 6. Surrounded by 1, no. What could 6 touch here? This digit can't be 1 or 2. This can't be high. Green is low. What a finding. What a useful moment to find it. Pink is high. Pink is orange now. Now, the 2 must go here in the low cell. And that's a 7 that it goes with. And the 7 is flanked by not 4, by 1 and 3. And now these 4 can't be there in the high cell, so 4 is here. How did I know 4 couldn't be there? Oh, because it would be surrounded by 8 and 9. So 5 is here, this digit is 9, that's got to be 1. 4 is surrounded by 8 and 9, and there we go. And now we are flowing towards a finish. This digit is 6 to complete the box. That's 9 and 7. This is not 7. Now, 2, 4 and 5 down here, they are not resolved yet. They are slightly reduced in possibilities. That 9 is looking across here. The 1 is looking across here. That's now a 2-3 pair, and this can't be 6 because it would be touching 3. So this is a 1-6 pair, we know the order. This is an 8-5 pair, we do know the order. This is a 3-4 pair, I don't know the order. But it does sort out this 6-4 pair. Now, this maybe, or this thing, don't know. Let's have a look at the arrow first. 1, 2, 5, 9, 8. This digit is 3, 4, 6 or 7 by Sudoku, and this one by Sudoku is 3, 6, 7 or 9. Well, 3 won't work. 7 won't work with the digit below. So this is now 4 or 7. I'm gonna go back to some colouring because I haven't done it for a while, and it can be done in some cases. Oh, and I should finish off that and that. There we go. Still haven't done those for sure. Okay, let's have a look at this row, which is filling up fast. 819. This digit cannot be high, obviously. But can it be 5? It certainly can. This is 3, 4, or 5 by Sudoku. Oh, come on. If these were both low, that would have to be a 7. So if there wasn't a 5 monkeying around with... Oh, there can't be a 5 in that cell. So 5, oh look, there is a 5 here. Come on. So there is a 5 on this line. You can't put it here because neither of those digits can be 1. In fact, I can put a 1 here by Sudoku. Now I still don't know where 5 is. It could be above or below that 1. That's so strange. No, it couldn't. This digit can't be anything but 5 to sit between a 1 and a 9. So there we go. We found it finally. That's going to sort out these two, including their colours. And we can put the last... No, we can't quite put the last 5 in the grid because they're not in whisper cells. This is high, though. And now we've had 1, 2, and 3. 4 must be in one of those two cells, and this one becomes a 3 as a result. 3, 6. That 6 will do it. That'll put 9 in this circle. Goodness gracious me. It just goes on, doesn't it? Now, this must be completable. Let's put 4 in there. This is a 6. That sorts out 7 and 6. This digit has become a 4 by elimination. That's going to sort out this group down here, 5, 2, 4, so we can colour those. I'm going to clearly complete the colouring today. This is 3 and 8 up here. And that tells me where 5 goes, the last yellow digit. 6 and 7 are both orange, I believe. And this digit is blue and is 2. And lets me complete the puzzle with a 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the corner. And a 2 here. Oh dear, I didn't think that was going to be this hard. It's a very good puzzle though. And I've enjoyed myself a lot with that. Thank you, James Cott. Oh, it's such a relief to get it right in the end. But I wonder if the convoluted steps... Well, it was just finding that 4. That was really the key. And that was difficult. It wasn't somewhere I was looking for a long, long time, as you saw. Thank you for sticking with me. Love to see you again tomorrow. Do come back for more. Bye for now.